Hello everyone, welcome to the Archipelago live stream. Thank you so much for joining me. Do jump in the chat and say hello if you are watching the stream live. Julia says she's been waiting all morning for this live stream, so we'll get underway shortly, Julia, don't you worry. Juniper, thank you for tuning in. Got Sarah here as well. Chris, you're online. Richard's here. Yeah, I've been making some refinements to the office setup and the live stream setup as well. So glad you noticed, Chris. Thank you. We've got someone tuning in from the Netherlands. That's amazing. Welcome. Thank you for joining. Sarah says, been anxiously waiting too. Very excited for this. Good stuff. That's what we like to hear. So we'll dive into the edits shortly, but just a bit of an introduction. My name's Liam. I'm one of the developers here at Archipelago Presets, where we make Lightroom presets and creative profiles for photographers. And in this live stream, we're going to be checking out our brand new set, which came out just a couple of days ago, called ORE. And these presets are absolutely incredible. So if you haven't already checked them out, the reviews have been absolutely astounding. Everyone's loving these so far, but we're going to be editing with those presets in this live stream so you can see them in action. And we'll also be giving away a set as well. So if you're here watching this live, do interact in the chat. As we go through the stream, we'll be picking someone from the chat to win a free set of ORE presets at the end of the stream. So definitely stick around as we go through these edits, and you may be in with a chance of winning. We've got some incredible images that we're going to be editing with today. So these 10 photos that we'll go through, I'll showcase the set, answer any questions you might have about the set itself, about editing in Lightroom, or anything else to do with photography. So do ask if you have any questions as we go through this, and I'll try and answer those live on the stream. But yeah, thank you for being here. Love these. Really good, fun way of showcasing the sets, but also getting to interact with the community of amazing photographers. And that stretches to the amazing photographers who have submitted images for this stream as well. So as we go through the edits, you're going to see the photographer's name up in the top left over here, along with the settings that we use to capture the EXIF data there as well. So as we go through the stream, you're going to see that. So ORE presets is a lot of goodness for your money, because you're going to get 7 color presets, 2 black and white presets. You also get some oxidization presets, which are sort of veneers that go over the top. You'll see those as we go through the edits, and 3 creative profiles and some grain tools in there as well. So there's a lot of bang for your buck. Incredible set, lots and lots to go at, lots of variety as well. So we've tried to get a bit of variety in the edits here as well. So got some indoor images, got some outdoor images, a variety of different lighting conditions there as well. So a good way to showcase the set. But it's an incredible set. There's a lot of diversity in there, as you'll see as we go through the edits. So very excited to showcase this to you today. But these presets are already out. They've been out for a day or so now. So they're brand new. They're in the Archipelago Presets store, so you can go and grab them right now. But yeah, we'll dive in. We'll start editing with the set. I'll showcase the presets and we'll go from there. We've got someone tuning in from Poland as well. That's amazing. I love it when you see where everyone's tuning in from. I'm based in the UK, so it's about just after 7 p.m. in the evening here. Yeah, it's nice to see where you're tuning in from. Wendy said, so excited. Gonna be my first preset purchase. Oh, Wendy, this is a great one to start with. You're gonna love it. All right, let's check them out. Let's get diving into here and we'll have a look at the presets themselves. So as I said, there's 7 color presets, 2 black and white. We've got the oxidized veneer presets as well, the grain tools, and 3 profiles. So there's a whole lot to go at in this set. So we'll start off with this image. I'll showcase the different presets, and then we'll go through and we'll edit each of the images. Actually, just as a note, if you are new to our live streams, we do these at least once a month. And what I like to do when we do the live stream is just go through the images in the order that you want to see. So if you look at the thumbnails here, you've got a number up in the top left of each of the thumbnails. Just let me know which one you want to see edited next, and I'll try and go through them in the order that you want to see, but we'll do all 10 anyway. So if you're not too fussed about which one you want to see next, no worries, we'll just go through them in either in order or random, whatever you want to see. But if you want to see a particular image, let me know the number. But we'll start with number 1. I'll showcase the presets and we'll go through from there. So it's always good to start by setting your exposure and white balance before you look at the actual presets themselves. That just helps you to get a really good base, really helps with things like skin tones and color accuracy and all that kind of stuff. So this first image here, we've got this gorgeous backlit image, amazing scenery. You've got the horses as well, such a cool photo here. So for this, we could bring the exposure up, but actually I think the silhouette look is quite nice here. So I'm probably not going to play around with the exposure or the white balance because I think it looks pretty good as it is. So I can go ahead and show you the presets. We'll tweak it from there. So first off, we have ORE 1. This is one of the gold presets in the set. It uses the gold profile. And look at that for a transformation. Absolutely incredible with one click. Really gorgeous warm tones. And that's what this set is all about, the warm tones. ORE 2, ORE 3, and then ORE 4, which is a rose gold preset. So it still uses the gold profile, but it has this nice rose toning to it as well. And then we'll move on to the copper preset. So we have ORE 5 that uses the copper profile, ORE 6, and ORE 7. And then we have the 2 black and white presets, which is ORE 8 and ORE 9, and they use the iron profile. So ORE 8 and ORE 9. So as you can see, lots and lots of variety as we go through all the presets there. So plenty of choice when it comes to both the color and the black and white. But on top of that, we have these oxidized presets, and they're like a veneer to go on top of the preset that you've selected. So for this image, let's go ahead and choose the preset that I want to edit with. So I think we could go for, I'm quite digging the rose gold actually. I like the tonality, and I think it suits this backlit image with the sun bursting through between the couple there. So let's go for ORE 4 rose gold. So first of all, we've got the profile, which is set to 100 as default. And in this case, this is one of the gold presets. It's using the gold profile, and the amount is set to 100 as default. So if we drag this to the left, it's going to reduce that gold toning and also reduce the contrast level as well. And if we drag it to the right, it's going to increase that. So you can see we go from this at 200 down to this at 0. So I really like having this pushed up for this image. I think adding that gold toning in there and a bit more contrast as well because it's backlit definitely suits it. So I think somewhere around there, it's almost maxed out, about 183. But then let me show you these oxidized presets as well. And these are designed, like I said, to go over the top of the preset that you selected. So I've chosen ORE 4 as the preset, but now I could go ahead and apply one of the veneers, the oxidized presets, on top of this. So if I hover over these presets, we have oxidized. If I show you what that does, so it adds more warmth there. It's changing the tonality of the image as well, so it's boosting the contrast in this case. Oxidized 2, oxidized 3, 4, 5, and 6. So even more variety there with these presets that add this extra veneer on top of the default presets. So you've got the profile there, you've got these presets, you've got the additional veneer. So there's just tons and tons of variety. So for this, let's have a look. I think I will use one of these. And we could go for this one, which is Oxidized 5. So this is pushing a little bit more contrast in, and it's just accentuating the sort of rose gold toning that I was getting from the original preset. So I think we'll go for that. Let's have a little play around with the profile. No, I think, yeah, crank it all the way up to 200. And it's got quite a lot of vignette on this image, and I maybe would take it out on a lot of images, but I think on this it really suits having the darkening around the edges here. If I go into lens correction and turn that on, you'll see that's how much vignette is created from the lens, but I actually think for this, it just really draws the eye. Maybe we could correct it and just bring the vignette back in like that, so we don't have any distortion, but we're kind of keeping the vignette that's natural to the lens there. I think that really draws the eye to the center of the frame there. So this is the before, and here's the after, and that was with ORE 4. Increase the profile all the way up to 200, so we've got like nice gold toning, and we've used oxidized 5 veneer. And I think that looks absolutely stunning. Like I said, we've also got some grain presets here. These are called sediment. So there's 3 different strengths of grain. So you've got plenty of choice in terms of the amount of texture that you want to see from the grain there as well. But I like the default on this. I'll show you this side by side. And if we go ahead and zoom in, I can show you the close-up of the couple there as well. Super, super nice. Sarah says, just spent my morning playing with it and it's so beautiful. Glad to hear that, Sarah. Thank you very much. Carol says, hello. Welcome, Carol. Thank you for joining. Loving the copper look. Yes, the copper. I think the copper presets might be my favorite. But it's hard because they're all very, very nice. Wendy said the gold / copper are just so amazing. Absolutely agree. Chris says the oxide presets are so good. Love that extra layer of goodness. Yeah, and because the presets themselves, the oxidized presets, are designed as this sort of veneer, you can actually mix and match them with other presets as well. So if you like what these do to your image, you can actually apply them to images edited with other presets. So it's good to know. All right, so that's 1 image down. We've got 9 to go. If you let me know which one you want to see edited next, just let me know the number that you see up in the top left of each of the images, and I'll go through these in the order that you want to see. Chill Vibe says, Liam, will all work on overcasted photos? So you mean like if it's not got like a bright sun, you mean? Yeah, it absolutely will. You're going to see as we go through, because we've got some overcast images. We've got some indoor images as well. So there's a nice variety. But yes, it definitely works for overcast. It works for backlit. Surprisingly, as a warm preset like this, they work across a really wide variety of images. So it's really impressive what Richard's been able to do with this set. So this was created by Richard McDowell. And this set is just so diverse, but also just very versatile. People are selecting the images I want to see next, which is good. Thank you for that. So Juniper says 5 or 9. Yeah, nice. Okay, let's do 5. Sasha says 6. Good choice. All right, let's dive in and do 5 next then. So we've got this gorgeous image here from Shays. Let's go ahead and increase the exposure just a little bit. And I think we could add a little bit more warmth. Somewhere around there looks good to me. And let's check out the presets. Ooh, the black and whites are looking really nice on this, very gritty, but I think if we go for a color edit, I'll probably go for ORE 5, one of the copper presets. So let's go ahead and set the exposure. Let's take a look at that copper profile. So as you can see, if I decrease it, just reduces the contrast a little bit and removes some of that copper toning. And as we increase it, adds more of that. So great to have that granular control with the profile slider. We love profiles here at Archipelago. All right, so think about there. So that's set to about 170. And let's take a look at the oxidized veneer presets as well. See if we want to add any of these. I think if I was going to add one, it would be 4, but I think for this image, I quite like it without. Just like the pop of contrast and the way that the highlights are rendering here. I probably would add a little bit more grain to this, just because I think it'll suit this image. So if we go for that, I think that'll look really nice. Here's before, and here's after, and that was with ORE 5 with the copper profile. And added a little bit more grain, and there's the side-by-side comparison for you. Looking super nice. Andy says, little late, but I'm here and so stoked about these. Welcome, Andy. Thanks for joining. Glad you're stoked about these. You should be. They're incredible. For anyone just joining, welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for joining. My name's Liam, one of the developers here at Archipelago Presets. And in this stream, we're taking a look at our brand new set, ORE, which came out just a couple of days ago. We're going through and doing some edits with the presets, answering any questions you might have about the set as well. And we'll be giving away a free set of ORE presets during the stream. So if you're here, do make sure to interact in the chat as we go through the stream, and we'll be picking someone to win at the end of the stream. So definitely stick around. All right, so let's have a look. What was next? 6, I think, was the next image, and then 7. So we're just doing it in order, apparently. So 6 next, and then we'll do 7. And I think there's a few more people picking what they want to see after that. So keep them coming through. Image number 6. Love this photo. Super, super nice. So let's go ahead and increase the exposure. We definitely need quite a bit more warmth in this. I'm thinking somewhere around there looks good to me. Let's take a look at the presets. Oh, look at that, super nice. Again, one click just transforms the image completely. And these warm tones definitely suit this. They look super nice. Although those black and whites are looking mighty fine too. I think it's a tough one. I think 1. I'm gonna go for ORE 1 with the gold profile. I'm gonna add a little bit more of that just so we have that nice sort of goldy green tone in. Let's take a look at the oxidized presets. And I think I'm drawn to oxidized 1. I can bring the exposure up a tiny little bit. I think somewhere around there looks good to me. I guess that's the before, and that's after, and that was with ORE 1. We've got the gold profile, which we've increased just a little bit, and we've added the oxidized preset to that as well. I'm going to leave the grain as default because I like the low amount of grain that we've got as default in this. There's before, there's after, and there's the side-by-side for you. Let's go ahead and check out the close-up. Super, super nice. Love the warm tone in. Sarah says, this is incredible in black and white. Yeah, this is a good one for black and white, actually. That was standing out to me quite a bit. I think probably if I was going black and white, I think I'd go ORE 8 for this sort of like cooler toned, more neutral toned black and white. So if we go ahead and do that, so if we do ORE 8, we've got the iron profile again set to 100 as default. If we decrease that, you can see that's it set to 0 and that's it set to 200. So again, lots of control over how this looks. I think for me, I'd increase it just a little bit. So that's set to 115, so just a tiny little bit of an increase. And that will be the black and white edit I'd go with. So again, there's before, there's after, and there's a side-by-side, and that's with ORE 8. Chill Vibe says, are the presets going to work with JPEG? So they're really designed for RAW. I'd absolutely recommend editing in RAW because it's going to use all of the data in your files to give you the best quality image. Theoretically, they will work on JPEG files, but because JPEGs already have baked in exposure levels and contrast levels and sharpening and all those kinds of things, you'll probably find that they look a little bit over edited if you use them on JPEGs. You'll probably have to tweak them quite a bit to dial that back. So they're really designed for RAW, and that's what I recommend using them on. So let's catch up in the chat here, what we got going on. Love the oomph that gives, yes. Sasha says, I'm so curious as to what the grain is set on default for these presets. It's so stunning. So it's quite a low level of grain, and it's quite fine as a default. So that's kind of the default. It's similar to Sediment 1. So the first grain option in here is similar to the default. And then 2 adds a little bit more of a kind of drastic grain look. And then 3 is a very heavy grain. So you can kind of see that there. Andy said, I was finally just settling on Nomad, but I think I've changed my mind. Hey, there's no issue with changing your mind. You can use as many different presets as you like. I edit all of my images with totally different presets all of the time, so I never stick to one particular set. I have my favorites, of course, but yeah, there's definitely no harm in straying from what you usually use. All right, so let's do 7, and I think a lot of people are even requesting 9, so I think we'll do that one after. And then I think Sarah said 4 because I love ORE with misty / cloudy. Yeah, cool. Okay, we can do that as well. So 9 and then 4, but we'll do 7 first, I think. What are the main differences between these and Nomad? They're really very different presets. They would work well together, but they're really very different in the tonality. The ORE set is designed to be an overly warm set, so Nomad has a lot of warm presets in it, but this set is designed to be a real push in that warmth. So Nomad 1 is a warm preset in that set, but there's a lot of variety in there in terms of very different kind of tones and things as you go through, whereas this really pushes that warmth. One of the things that I love about this set that I think stands apart from quite a few other sets is you could go through one session and you could edit every single image in that session with a different preset from the ORE collection, and it still look really consistent and cohesive. Although there's a lot of variety, the way that they work together is just amazing, and I've been loving seeing groups of images edited together with the ORE presets because they just look super nice. So at the end of the stream, when we finish editing all these, you'll see that the kind of tonality that it creates and the consistency between all of them is just chef's kiss, super nice. All right, so let's dive in and do number 7 next. So we've got this lovely image here from KC. So the first thing we'll do is probably just bring up the exposure just a tiny bit and add some more warmth somewhere around there. It's looking good to me. Let's check out the presets. So although I'm liking the color on this, I think I would go black and white if I was going for an edit on this, and probably would go for ORE 9 with the warm tones. I think if I was gonna do color, it would probably be ORE 2. So I'd go this way. I would probably crank up the profile a little bit there. We'd take a look at the oxidized presets here as well. And I'd be tempted to go for this sort of more muted look with the warm toning, kind of back the temperature off just a little bit. I would go for that, I think, if it was a color edit. I think that looks really, really nice. There's before and there's after. But I think I'm drawn to a black and white on this, and I think ORE 9 looks super, super nice. So we've got this nice punchy black and white with this warm toning. Again, we've got the iron profile here, so we can increase or decrease that to our taste. But I think for this, increase it like that, so we get that nice level of punch. And I would personally always go for Sediment 3, so the stronger grain option with the black and white, because I think grain on black and white images looks super, super nice. So I'll zoom in and show you the kind of close-ups. You've got that nice level of grain there. There's before and there's after. That's ORE 9. And there's the side-by-side. All right, let's have a look. So, Shannon says, sorry, just joining. Are you saying, I don't know if that's why, but I'm struggling. Any tips for Sony users? Not specifically for Sony users. It's going to be different for every individual as to how the images render, not just because of the camera that you're using or the file type that you're editing with, but also the way that you shoot. So whether you're underexposed, whether you're overexposed, the color tones in the image as you capture them. Lots and lots of different things are going to kind of influence that, so it's really hard to say, but we do test these on all file types, including Sony. So these presets should look really great on all file types, so they definitely do look really great on all file types, including Sony. So if you are struggling with something in particular, I would recommend either jumping into the Archipelago community forum or the Archipelago Collective Facebook group and sharing in there. We can get some tips and kind of give you a bit of a hand and figure out what's going on. All right, let's take a look at image number 9 and then we'll do 4. All right, cool. So we've got this nice indoor scene here. Got some lovely light just flaring in through the windows there behind. So I'm just going to bring the exposure up on this just a little bit and just bring the temperature up. Somewhere around there looks good to me. Let's take a look at the presets. Yeah, these are looking super nice. I think I'm going to go for ORE 6, one of the copper presets here. I'm going to increase the profile, I think, again, just to add a little bit more contrast because we've got that light coming in from behind. I'm just going to straighten this up a tiny little touch. And let's take a look at oxidized. Ooh, that's looking really nice. That's oxidized 1, looking super nice. Although I think oxidized 6 is looking very, very good as well. I like that kind of muted tonality that it's bringing. So let me play around with the profile again, probably increase that. I want to keep the mood, so I don't want to brighten it too much. I think there looks super nice to me. Here's the before and here's after. This was with ORE 6, and we've added oxidized 6 as well and increased the copper profile. There's before, there's after. And here's the side-by-side. Again, that really nice default grain level, gorgeous color tones. Looking super, super good. Dan Hacker says, do these work best on underexposed images? They definitely work really well on underexposed images. So like we saw with image number 5, that was quite an underexposed image. We've had a couple of underexposed images in here. So it definitely works well with underexposed images if that's something that you tend to do. We always recommend to use correct exposure where possible, because these presets are really designed to work best on correct exposure. So it will retain the kind of most amount of data in the image, and therefore it allows the presets to draw the most out of your photos. So we usually say correct exposure is the best way to go, but if you tend to underexpose or if you overexpose, these will definitely work really well, and that's why we've selected a nice diverse range of images so you can see how they do look on those. But you might find, let's say if you underexpose quite heavily, you might find that the warm toning is more prominent on those images because of the way that the file is rendered, and it renders the shadows and the highlights and all the rest of it. So you might find that they look a little bit more intense if you underexpose too heavily. But if it's, you know, something like a stop under or somewhere around there, you're probably not going to see too much difference. If that's what you tend to do, they're definitely going to work well on those images for you. Julia says these tones, absolutely, Julia. All right, so image number 4, I think, was selected next. Do we have anyone else choosing numbers? Let's have a little look. No, I think that's it. So we'll do 4 next, but let me know if you want to see a particular image after that. We've still got image number 2, 3, 8, and 10. And just as a reminder, if you are just joining us, thank you so much for joining. We'll be giving away an ORE preset collection at the end of this stream, so do stick around. If you're here, keep interacting in the chat as we go through the stream, and we're picking someone to win the set at the end of the stream. All right, image number 4. Love this, super serene looking. Just gonna straighten up that horizon a tiny little bit. Bring the exposure up. I think the white balance is looking good to my eye. You could warm it up, but I actually think it's quite nice. It's nice as it is. So let's take a look at the presets. Yeah, super, super nice. And I think it's between 2 and 3. I'm gonna go 3. I just like that little bit more muting that we're getting there. Oh yeah, super nice. That profile is just adding a really nice color into the shadows at the bottom of the frame here where the water is. And I really like Oxidized 3 for that really sort of flat kind of highlight look, very muted highlights. And that added warmth, that looks really nice. But I think think I'm going to use 4, oxidized 4. And then if I just back off the temperature just a tiny little bit, because I want to see that color in the water, that looks super nice to me. So there's before and there's after. And that's with ORE 3. And we also used oxidized 4 there as well. And there's the side-by-side comparison. Sasha says, wow, 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 that's beautiful. Absolutely. Love the black and whites as well. Yes, definitely the black and whites are super, super nice in this set. So many good options. I would agree with that, Sarah, absolutely. All right, so I think number 2 and then 10 was the selection. So we'll do 2, we'll do 10, and then we'll just do 3 and 8, which are the last 2. And then once we've got those ones edited, we will be announcing a winner for the ORE set, the free set. So very, very exciting. All right, cool. So we've got a nice indoor scene here. Exposure's looking good. I could increase it a little bit just because there's a little bit of shadow on the subject here, but I think I'll leave it for now, and then we'll have a look after I've applied the preset. And I think white balance is looking nice on this as well, so I probably wouldn't change that. Let's just take a look at the presets themselves. So ORE 1 looking super, super nice. Look at that, complete transformation. ORE 2, yeah, that's looking very, very nice as well. Nice creamy tones in the highlights there. ORE 3, ORE 4, 5, 6, 7, and then black and white. I've got ORE 8 and ORE 9. This is a tough one. I would probably go either ORE 1, ORE 2, or ORE 7, but I think I'm drawn to 7 because it's lifting the shadows quite a lot, which I like, and I can actually bring the exposure back down a little bit to offset that, and we get this kind of like really nice light toning in the image. And again, we've got those creamy highlights up here. Let's have a look at the profile. Oh yeah, definitely you want to increase that just a little bit, somewhere around here, 170. And then let's take a look at oxidized. Oxidized 6 is looking very, very nice. I think I would apply that one to this. And then again, just bring the exposure back up. That's looking gorgeous to me. So there's the before and there's after, and that's with ORE 7. We've increased the copper profile to 167, and then we've applied oxidized 6 to add that additional veneer there as well. And that's looking super, super nice. I would probably increase the grain as well, probably go for sediment 2. So we've kind of got that mid level of grain. So I'll go ahead and zoom in here for you. Absolutely gorgeous. Love what it's done to the orange cushion here. And again, just those creamy highlights looking super, super nice. There's the side-by-side comparison. Just a really nice, gorgeous golden toning through this. Super, super nice. Melanie says, do we have to do something to qualify for the giveaway? Yes, you do, Melanie, and you've already done it. Just be here and interact in the chat live, and we'll be picking someone from the chat to win the free set. So you're already in with a chance, so thank you for joining. Juniper says, this is about to look so dreamy, I can't wait. Yes, very dreamy. Dan Hacker said ORE 1. Yeah, ORE 1 was drawing me in, and ORE 2 as well. I think both of those two look very, very nice. But I like this final result we've got here with ORE 7 and with the oxidized veneer as well. Nice, warm, peachy toning. These skin tones are so good with ORE, thank you, yeah. Didn't expect the black and white to jump out so much. It's beautiful. Yeah, again, this is one of those sets that as I'm going through, I'm like, oh, I'm definitely going to edit this in color, and then I'll hover over a black and white and be like, oh, actually, hang on. Because these black and whites are just very, very nice. Even just with one click, but the iron profile just gives you a huge amount of variety in the end toning that you get. So once you've applied the preset, you can kind of tweak it from there, and it's stunning, super nice. Lauren says, incredible edit. Ryan, can't wait to try these out. Yes, Ryan, you're going to love it. Wendy says, the slight grain definitely gives everything such a different look. Yeah, I definitely like adding grain to my images. Dan says, these live edits are so ASMR worthy. Thank you, Dan. All right, so image number 10, and then we'll do 3, and then we'll do 8. Just a reminder, if you have any questions as we go through, don't hesitate to ask. We're happy to help out if we can, whether that's about the sets themselves or editing or, you know, post-production in general, photography, whatever it might be. Just ask. If we can answer it during the live stream, we will. And if we can't answer it during the live stream, we can point you in the right direction to help you out after. So another gorgeous image here. Love this setting, super nice with this little building here and the woodland around it. So for this, let's take a look. I'm going to increase the exposure just a little bit, not too much. And we've got quite, I think we've got quite a bit of vignette from the lens again on this one. Let's have a look. Yes, so there's quite a lot there. So again, I'll probably add the lens correction, then just back the vignette a little bit so we kind of don't lose all of it entirely. I'm going to straighten the image up just a little bit. But I think the white balance looks good. I probably wouldn't change that. So let's go ahead and take a look at these presets. Super nice. I love what ORE does to the greens, just the way it warms up the green tone in. And there's, again, a lot of variety in the greens as we move through these. So you can see we've got some sort of more saturated greens in ORE 6 and 7. We've got sort of more consistent looking warm tones throughout, like ORE 1, where it warms up those greens. So again, a lot of variety. I think in this, because we've got quite a lot of green, I would probably go for one of the presets that retain the green. So I'd probably go for something like ORE 6. We've got copper profile. So you can see just what that's doing to the image. So I'll probably, yeah, just increase it a tiny little bit. It's basically default. It's set to 107 and the default is 100. So it's almost a default. So just a tiny increase. Let's take a look at oxidized. Oh yeah, super nice. Oxidized 2 and 3 are really, really nice for just totally transforming the image. You can see just how much it transforms the image. So really, really cool presets just to bring that extra flair. Oxidized 5 is looking good as well because it's bringing a little bit of that rose color, which actually looks really nice because we've got this wood trim along here and obviously on the front of the building. So that's looking good. And then we've got that kind of softer look. I think I'd be tempted to go for this just because I like the contrast between the greens and then this kind of more redwood kind of look. So I would do that, and I think I would just bring the shadows up a little bit, bring the exposure down a tiny little bit there as well. So let's take a look. There's the before, and there's after, and there's the side-by-side comparison. So again, that lovely rich warmth. We've retained the greens, but they're just slightly warmer than they are in the original image. And then I just love what it's doing to the color in the wood on the building. Skin tone's looking super nice as well. Go ahead and zoom in there. Let's have a look at the chat. What is everyone saying? Wow, each preset fits the photo perfectly. I'm seriously amazed. Yes, absolutely. In the outdoors, love it what it does with the greens. There we go, thank you. Are these much different than LXCR? Yes, they're very, very different from LXCR. Totally different toning, totally different contrast levels. The profiles work totally different. So it's a very unique set in comparison to LXCR. All these different options have my editing process taken so much longer. There's so many options. Yeah, at first you'll kind of be you'll maybe not know what to choose, especially because they're all so nice. But once you kind of get into the groove of the set and you know which ones that you like, you know, for instance, like the oxidized presets, you may not use all of them. You may not use them at all. You may just use the default presets, or you may have one that you just slap on absolutely everything because you just love the way it works. And that's, you know, that's what these presets are all about. They're about providing you the tools to create whatever it is that you want to create. And I think if we can give you more, like in this set where we've got all of these presets, the profiles, the grain options and all that kind of stuff, then, you know, more tools to help you create your incredible images. So I don't think there's any issue with that. This is perfection, says Juniper. Love this cute fairy cottage in this photo, Lauren. Yeah, I'm obsessed. I'd love to know where it is actually. All right, so where are we at? We have got image 3 and image 8. So let's do this one first. Lovely mountain scene here. Got a couple nice windswept with the dress going across and this lovely bouquet in the middle here as well. Lovely work from Hope. So let's start by, I think, just maybe a tiny increase in the exposure and probably just a tiny increase in the temperature. Somewhere around there looks good to me. And let's take a look. Ooh, so yeah, ORE 8 is definitely standing out on this. This is one of those images where you hover over the black and white and it just looks super nice. I think if I was going color, I would probably go ORE 5 with the copper profile. I would probably crank it a little bit, bring the exposure back down somewhere around there. And I probably would leave it as is. So that would be the color edit. There's the side by side. So that's with ORE 5, the copper profile cranked up. And then the black and white edit would absolutely be ORE 8. And let's have a look at the iron profile here. So you can see just how much that alters the tonality of the image. So if I just set that around about there, and we'll go ahead and increase the grain because I just love those grainy black and whites. And there's the side by side of the black and white edit. So that one's ORE 8. With the iron profile increased just a little bit, and we've added some more grain with sediment 3 there as well. Spicy. Mixing and matching those presets with other Archipelago presets is going to be challenging. So many options. It's not challenging, it's fun. That's what it's all about. I love nothing more than to mix and match presets and profiles and pull out some of the tools and effects from some of the other sets and throw those in with different presets. It's super fun. Obviously, I don't get out enough, so there we go. The black and white gets me every time, says Juniper. Yes. These tones, yeah. I just knew that 8 is going to be the best with those colors. Yeah, for sure. So many options is a good problem to have. Yeah, Lisa. See, that's what I said. Seriously, those black and white sets remind me of the first Wolfpack release. Oh, nice. Yeah, Dan, classic. Soft tones look really beautiful. All right, so we've got the last image, and then we will announce a winner for the free set of ORE presets. So if you've been waiting with bated breath to see if you are the winner of this set, we will come to that very, very soon. But let's edit this last image here. So this one from Bandito. I love this photo, super cool. It's going to bring the exposure up a decent amount. I think we need to add a little bit more warmth just to offset the default. That's looking good to me. Let's take a look at these presets. So I think it's probably going to be a color edit for this because I'm loving the color tones and the palette in this image. Ooh, although again, the black and whites are looking incredible. All right, so let's do, if I was doing a black and white, I think I would do, oh, I don't know, that's a really hard one. Yeah, I don't know which one I'd choose. Maybe ORE 8 if I was doing black and white, but they both look super nice. But I think for a color edit, I think ORE 7. Let's have a look. I'm going to increase the copper profile and we'll take a look. Yeah, these are looking good. Again, I'm quite drawn to Oxidized 5. It's adding a lot more punch, so I probably just want to back the contrast off a little bit if I was going to use that. But I like the way that it's rendering the colors in this. So we've got those warm orange tones and sort of the reds as well. So I definitely like that. So I'm going to go ahead and bring the exposure up just a tiny little bit, and I'm going to back the contrast off just a smidge, not too much, somewhere around there. So that's with, which one did I use actually? ORE 7. There's before and there's after, and we added the Oxidized 5 preset. We increased the profile, the copper profile, to 173 as well. So again, there's before, there's after, there's a side by side. Just look at those colors. Super, super nice. Love it. Obsessed with the color on this one. Andy says so good. So hard to choose for this. Yeah. Warm black and white would be Sasha's choice. Yes, that would be ORE 9 for the warm toning. But yeah, both are looking very, very good. Definitely black and white and warm. I would make some virtual copies and edit it all. Yeah, that's something that I do all the time. So I make virtual copies and just edit in all the different ones that are kind of drawing my eye. And then sometimes I'll just deliver 3 different versions of a photo to the client. So there we go. Juniper, yes, it looks so good. Very editorial. Wow, those colors. Again, the tones, literally insanely beautiful, says Lise. Love the peach tones ORE is giving us. Yes, for sure. So that's the edits done. And like I said at the start, you know, the color tonality that this set produces, when you see a bunch of these images edited together, they just look super, super nice. And, you know, like this, we've edited each image with a different preset, with different oxidization preset as well. We've adjusted the profiles differently. They're all shot on different cameras by different photographers, different lighting conditions, but even these just look really cohesive and really beautiful together. And that's just what the ORE presets are capable of doing. So very, very versatile, very, very impressive. There we go. Chris said, just seeing the collection, love how they translate into an entire body of work. That's it. That's what I'm talking about. It's amazing when you see a bunch of these images edited together, just how beautiful and cohesive they look. Julie says, number 8 just pops. They all look amazing though. Yeah. Yeah, I think number 8, the tones that are in that image, you know, from the actual capturing of the image, the colors in their outfits and the color of the wall and stuff definitely suit this set super well. So they definitely pop. Andy, full-on goals, how you can play with all the different tones and have it look cohesive. Yeah, exactly. That's what it's about. It's super cool, isn't it? High five. Love creating virtual copies. You can really try different styles and then choose the perfect one. Yeah, definitely. All right, so it's that time of the stream. We'll be announcing a winner for the free ORE presets in just a moment, but don't worry if you aren't the winner, if you're not lucky enough to win the presets. We have something special for you, just for you who are tuning in right now, and that is a 20% discount from ORE. So if you're looking to get ORE and you'd like to get 20% off, you can use this code at checkout. This code is live for the next 48 hours from the time of the live stream. So you've got 48 hours. You can take advantage of this code if you are looking to get the set and you aren't lucky enough to win the free presets. You can use ORE20 at checkout and get 20% off the presets, so off ORE preset collection. But here we go, we've got the winner. The winner of the ORE set is Sasha Williams. Congratulations, Sasha. You are getting a free set of ORE presets. Super, super excited for you. OMG, shut up. I'm so excited. There you go, Sasha. Amazing stuff. So big congratulations to Sasha. But like I said, if you haven't picked these up yet and you're interested in getting them, just as a thank you for joining the stream, you can use this discount code for the next 48 hours, ORE20, and you'll get 20% off ORE presets. So big thank you to everyone for joining. Love doing these streams, love having you along for them. So big thank you for joining this. If you haven't already, do subscribe to our YouTube channel. We do these live streams at least once a month, and actually we're doing one again next week on Thursday, same time, same place. We'll be showcasing the brand new Quest release, which is Prism effects, incredible overlay effects for Lightroom. So definitely come along and join for another live stream. Again, we'll be doing some giveaways, so good reason to be there. But subscribe to the channel. Give this video a like as well if you enjoyed it. And yeah, again, thank you so much for joining, and I'll see you in the next one.